My name is Eric Ritzkis, and I'm a second-year PhD student in Sociology and Equity Studies in Education, and I have two young children, one who's 4.5 and one who just turned 2. One of the great beauties of grad school is its flexibility, and I always tell people who are thinking about having children, that are wanting to start families, that actually grad school is the time to do it. So my partner and I have been able to sort of work our schedules where one of us is always at home while the other one is at work. So sometimes it means we pass like ships in the night as we kind of, one walks in the door and the other one walks out. But at the same time, that flexibility is simply not there if I work a 9 to 5 or if I'm fighting for tenure or whatever the case might be. I try to get something down every day. So whether it's like 15, I try to set myself a minimum of at least 15 minutes, ideally maybe a half hour. And I force myself to write because actually, especially I'm at a stage of my writing process right now where I'm doing everything else except writing, I find. So I'm reading for my comps, I'm putting together conferences and presenting them, I'm doing a lot of editing, I have all these other projects that are not writing projects, at least not my writing projects. So it's really important, especially at these sorts of stages, that I force myself to sit down, carve out 15-30 minutes to actually put something down on paper. I think a lot of what I've learned is through trial and error. When we bought our place here in Toronto, I had set up a home office. I had crafted something that I thought was going to be a comfortable space, somewhere where I could be at home. If my partner needed help, I was going to be close by, and I thought it was a perfect setup. As I tried to do it, I realized home was not the place where I got work done. As much as it was sort of separate, you still hear the little footprints sort of pattering upstairs. You hear when someone falls and cries. They know that you're right there and they want to see dad. It just was not a productive space. So that's part of that trial and error sort of process and being willing to change up things. I think one of the biggest things that I've found useful in grad school is to be forgiving of yourself. I think we have all sorts of pressures, all sorts of demands on ourselves to produce, to be great, to be the best, to be all sorts of things. And when those get broken down, it becomes even more daunting and demanding. So if I can set myself what I think are realistic deadlines and push as hard as I can to meet those, but at the same time be forgiving if I don't meet that, I think that's really a key for me. It both drives me forward and allows myself that flexibility and forgiveness that if it doesn't happen, there are bigger things in life that got in the way. One of the biggest things that I want to sort of like preach is self-care. I think you really have to carve out time for that, because otherwise your whole day gets eaten up, and day after day after day gets eaten up. And all of a sudden, at the end of the week, you look back and you're like, where did it go? And you're exhausted and tired and disillusioned with the process. So I think you have to understand how you work and then also create moments on how you reward yourself. So whether it is, for me, often it might be, I'm going to take a coffee in the morning and do the crossword, and there's a half hour that I just get like peace and quiet.